So after the arrest and booking at West Valley, which took about an hour, between between the call from dispatch, where it was at 12 24 supposed dispatch him dispatch, few of them getting on the scene at exactly the same time, 12 to 24. They said I was arrested by 12:45, so it took 21 minutes, even though they said I stayed inside the store quite a while. It took 21 minutes from them to get to the scene and for my arrest, and then from another 35 minutes for me to be booked into that West Valley Detention Center. Fastest arrest and booking I've ever heard of. Because the same officer that was arresting me on the scene, those were some of the same officers who I had taken video of they had been following me from, they were the same officers who told me to move in Fontana, same officer that I put the video up when I said on the video, you're the same officer who was the Fontana police, now you are Ontario police, now you're Fontana police. Same officer was the one that arrested me. Okay, so, as I said, that, no, they did not take me to the police department, none of that, they took me straight to the West Valley Detention Center. Same officer, arrested me, transported me, and booked me. Is that something? That's the arrest and booking I've ever seen. He arrested me, transported me, and then he said he's the booking officer. But it was a couple of lady officers that booked me. But he says he's the booking officer. But I get there, and like at Dallas, remember that video I put up about how the Dallas Detention Center was? When they arrested me falsely on some criminal trespassing, and because I was the Greyhound, and I wanted to call corporation because my things came up missing. They didn't want me to go in the Greyhound station to talk to the corporation, so the officers arrested me. The criminal trespassing, even though I had a Greyhound ticket, criminal trespassing, and I have a ticket. But like in the Dallas Detention Center. Hold on 1 minute. Okay, I had to take a little cigarette break and drink some water. You guys know I didn't pick up that cigarette habit again, but it's good for me. But like at the Dallas Detention Center, I did a video about going on there at that detention center. The evilness, the feeding off people, and just the horrors there. But they did the same thing here. They put me in a cell when they did the same thing as they did in the Dallas Detention Center. They would not feed me. And remember, I told you I would ask them in the Dallas Detention Center when I was going to court, and they would say never. And they did the same thing here in California at the West Valley. I would ask officers when I'm going to court, and they said never. I'd say, and that's the same as the detention center in Dallas, when are you going to feed me? And they said never. So, I missed a lot of meals at the West Valley Detention Center. They would just not feed me. Sometimes 4 days, they would not feed me. They would turn off my water in my cell for 4 days. And just a lot like the one in Dallas. But once I arrived at that Dallas Detention Center, they took my phone and all my personal things. And I got I'm about a lawsuit about that because they said my things have been destroyed, but they never sent me a notification to have them moved or my ID, everything, all my things have been destroyed. They never sent me any notification to have someone pick those things up, or, they just destroyed them, they say. But I don't know that they destroyed them once I got out because they didn't want to return those things to me. Oh, let's speak about that this is police department here at Fontana, where they said they had my things at. That police department is only open 3 days a week. They're closed Friday through Monday. They're only open Tuesday, Wednesday and Thursday. What police department is only open 3 days a week? What police department doesn't have enough staff? Because most of the action, people drinking and partying and arguing, happens on the weekend. What police department is not open but 3 days a week? But like I made the video before the arrest, that they killed all the police, the original police at that police department. So they don't have enough staff. They're just a few. And like I'm saying, you have to make an appointment to go to the police department. It's only open, I'll say it again, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. I've never heard of the police department being open. Just those time periods. But, I found out there that talking to a lot of the other lady inmates, that nobody knew where they was. They were telling me their family, friends don't know where they are. They got picked up and nobody know where they are. They haven't been able to contact anybody. I heard Officer Barreras tell one of the ladies that nobody will ever find you here. That's what he told her. When they give you that, they don't give you spoons or cups. So I asked the officer, how am I supposed to eat? She told me to tear off a piece of styrofoam from the tray that you get. I'm supposed to eat with that. And they give you milk cartons. They tell you have to drink your milk out. And use the milk carton to use as a cup, as a drinking container. So one day, when I went to court, my first day there, I found a spoon at the courthouse. And I brought that spoon back with me. And, of course, they did everything they could to get in my cell. And they took everything in my cell. They took my spoon, my comb, my, everything. Everything. And when I asked them where were my things, they said the inmates that came in there to clean it said everything is trash. So, that was one of the hardest times I had. And I'll go into that in detail later. But, what detention center does not provide you with spoons, utensils, spoons, and cups. And I made a video of how they give you, the food is horrible. And they give you this old slimy oatmeal. And one day they let me out, but they was giving us 20 minutes a day out the cells. 20 minutes a day out of those cells. And I was walking around looking in other cells at other women. And like I said, most of them didn't know. Nobody knew they were there. And I saw this woman, inmate, on her hands and knees. Her tray was on the floor. And she was eating out of her tray like a dog. She was on her hands and knees, eating out of her tray, like eating that oatmeal, because there's another way, try to pick it up, it slips through your finger. So she was on her hands and knees, eating out of that tray like a dog. That horrified me. That's what I'm saying. But the horrors in them place, they give you some shoes. They're not really shoes, they're like sandals, shower shoes. And the thing about that amazes me about those shower shoes is that there's no right or left foot. The shower shoe, each one will fit in feet. But now, that's very confusing and uncomfortable. Who wouldn't make a shoe? Now, number one, my thing is, what company would make shoes with no left or right foot? So the shoes are not, the shower shoes are not new, but one of them tore up. And I asked for a new pair of shower shoes, and they gave me one old one that was tore up too, and one new one. So when I told the officer, I said, why would you give me an old one and a new one? She said, but the one that's tore up that you had, just use the new one, the good one, because it goes on in your foot. And like I said, after you put something on your foot, you're waiting a little while and they get uncomfortable. So you have to switch around to another foot. They're very cheap. Oh, what company would make a shoe that doesn't fit the right or left foot? Well, I'm in this and try to put it up. And if I don't have time to do another one today, I'll load up some more tomorrow. I love you guys. Stay prayerful, be prepared, be informed, be aware.